There we go. So you can start when you're ready.
All right. Hello and welcome everyone. I might be looking in the wrong direction. I might put my camera off actually, but welcome, good evening. This is ABC, this is our regular webinar, and tonight I'm hosting it, which I'm quite excited about. Mary's here.
Yes.
Hello. And today I thought we could have a chat about ChatGPT. There's been a lot of it in the news and in the media, and people are talking about it. And I thought it'd be nice to share what I know and what I learned about it.
Yeah.
So I'll just put myself on here for a second.
Okay.
And start going through it. So, ChatGPT, what is it? So you've heard about ChatGPT, and today what I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about it, how it can benefit our coaching businesses and our productivity, like how it can help. I've been testing it and using it in little ways. And just give you a brief introduction into it so that you can just go off and explore what it can do for you and your coaching business. Now I love tech. Yeah, I'm always thinking about what's new, what's coming in. And I always feel like we should be working smarter, not harder. And if there's something that can help us do something quicker, smarter, but still essentially us, I'm not talking about copying and pasting and, stealing other people's work, just enhancing our own creativity, in order to make us money and help our businesses, then I'm all about that. Yeah? So what I learned so far is from brainstorming, like it says, writing emails, doing research, creating analysis, proposals, deeper academic research. ChatGPT has so many uses, and I know you've probably heard about it taking over the world and making teachers redundant and all kinds of things. So I'm going to open it up and just explain what it is and then ask you what you know about it already and see if we can bring some of it together. So the ChatGPT, the GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. And it is a tool. It's scientists and data researchers have been working for a long time to make a realistic AI that can respond like you're talking to another human being in natural language. So previously we had types of AI, like chatbots and stuff. And you can always kind of tell it was a chatbot by the way it responded, it was really limited. And even a lot of companies and organisations at the moment, I think I use it for my phone company or something, if you want to speak to someone, a chatbot will come up and it will have a lot of preset answers that it can give you. And when it's not helping you, which often it doesn't, you'll let you speak to a real person. What's been revolutionary about this model by OpenAI is that it's a lot more realistic and human-like in its responses and the way it answers. And that's because they've plugged into it lots and lots of data from all different avenues, to make it knowledgeable about what's going on in the world and to make it a bit more sophisticated and nuanced in the way that it responds, which is really good. And they call it actually an NLP, which is the natural language processing technology, which makes it stand out a little bit more. The AI language, the GPT, and actually when I first started this, I think I used two. There's three, and I think they're developing four. Helps people with computers to communicate, like I said, just in a little bit more realistic way. And it is quite human-like. I've tested it for a few things. And it's quite interesting. So, quick discussion. What do we know about it so far? Okay, Nicholas, I hope you're going to come into this. Mary, what do you know about ChatGPT?
So obviously, I found out about ChatGPT. I used to say GBT, so I need to be careful.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah. I think they need to change the name. That's one thing. Definitely need to change the name. It's not very user-friendly. I found out, so obviously my day job, I work with a bunch of developers at work. So I work with a lot of developers, and one of my developer kind of shared in our Slack, that, oh, have you guys heard about this? And like, oh, what is it? And like, oh, it can help you write blogs. It can help you. Oh, I'm Mary. It can help you do a lot of stuff. Like, so first thing I thought was, oh my goodness, I like writing blogs. This would definitely help me write blogs. I don't like writing, but I like the idea of writing. But I think writing is a chore. Even though I have a lot to write, I have a lot in my brain that I would like to communicate with the outside external people, but I just feel like writing is daunting, because for me, knowing what to write is not the problem, but articulating it in a concise manner is the problem for me. So some people might know this already, but I'm not book smart. But I can be streetwise. So when it comes to intellectual stuff, I'm not the brightest. So when I'm talking, sorry?
Don't get yourself down.
Oh no, but it's just as good to know yourself, isn't it? To understand who you really are, because that's when you know where you need to improve, how you need to seek for support or seek help, basically. So that's the way I see it. So I identify that my strength and my weakness. I know that writing stuff is not my biggest strength. So I thought ChatGPT is a great tool, because that could help me in articulating my words very well. So, but one thing I also discovered, which what you mentioned before, is not copy and pasting. So for you to use ChatGPT effectively, I feel like you need to have an understanding of what you're looking for. Like, what do you want to write about? What do you want to know, kind of stuff. So for me, if I could say, I want to write about faith, or I want to write about how to, gain promotion in your career, for example, I know the steps. I know what you need to do. But to articulate it, to make it sound very nice and well written, it's my problem. And if you're on LinkedIn, you need to be writing your English, your grammar needs to be on par, like well written. So, it's like, oh, you know what? This is where ChatGPT comes in for me. So that I use that, for my post caption, for blogs, but I don't use it in the sense of, you tell me what to write. I know what I want to write, and I change things that I know doesn't make sense. I'm like, no, this is not, it doesn't align with what I'm trying to get across. So that's because I already, so I'm not using it as a, you write for me, and I just copy and paste and put on social media or put in my email, is you having to know exactly what you're using it for. And I've actually seen someone used it and it gave the wrong information.
Something. Has a disclaimer on it. I'll tell you about that.
It gave the wrong information. I think that's when this was started. And the person challenged it, which is very, very cool. Like, no, you're wrong. So the person asked, who is the founder of a particular company? And it mentioned the particular name. Like, no, that's not the founder, because I am the founder. This is my name, right? And then like, oh, I'm sorry. And it responded saying, it's sorry, and that I've just been developed. I don't know everything, but now that I know. And then my friend re-asked again the same question, and it recorded that and it gave the right answer. Right. So you have to know. So I hope people don't see it as, do my work for me kind of thing. Do my assignment.
It's a tool. It's a tool.
Right. So it can also go wrong.
I think that's a very cool story to tell. Thank you. Hey, Mary, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, so
hello.
Hello.
How have you been? I've been okay. I just feel like I'm going down with a cold though, so my throat is a little bit sore.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Nice
so
to
what
join
do you know about ChatGPT, throwing you on the spot?
Actually, I have no idea. I'm like, okay, I'm learning something today.
Brilliant. Well, you're in the right place. Nick, you're here. Do you want to join in? What do you know?
Hi, Shirene. Hi, everybody else. I'm not a coach. I'm a teacher. But obviously, we've talked about it in staff rooms and in, friends of mine who are teachers. We know pupils are submitting work that's not theirs. Why wouldn't they? And I think that's quite easy to spot, because they're going to have to do it under exam conditions at some point. But perhaps more worryingly, more concerningly for the people in professions like mine and lots of others, I think, is the implications of it, which are that really that you can't, humans lose to machines. That's life. I don't compete with machines, and I've always been, I felt very fortunate that I don't have a job that I ever felt would have to compete with machines. But a friend of mine put a scenario by which there are 200 children in a big hall, each with a laptop, each looking at a bigger screen at the front with algorithms programmed in to respond to their answers. That only takes one adult to supervise, and really that's for me that would put me out of work. Which I don't want that. So I've been, it's been very, you've been very reassuring. It's just a tool, but I think it's also very, very exciting at the same time. Because I think it will allow us to produce really good resources for students with additional needs and meeting their needs and amending texts and finding ways of them making text more accessible. So let's just say I'm ambivalent and I'm looking forward to learning more.
Okay. Thank you. And that leads to some really good points again about what it can potentially do. I mean, you think about, and I'll come on to it a little bit, but you think about having the power now, and you can always maybe do it in certain ways, but maybe to write something and get translated into lots of languages instantly, and be able to amend that. There's really good deeper uses, and the more I learn about it from an academic or from technology perspective, there's good things we can do. So let's look a bit more about it. When I was doing some research, and specifically for coaching business, these are some of the areas, and Mary's touched on them already, that you could potentially, as a starting point, Mary, you might be using them in some of these ways already. So generating product or service descriptions. So you structure it in your coaching program, and you need to put the upsell on it, because now you're packaging it up, you want to put it into a text on a website. It can give you some structure around how to put that in and what to put it in to make it exciting, marketing language, or to really change the tone of it. For me, this was creating marketing content. It can write emails for you in a certain tone. It can write little posts for social media, and I'll give you an example at the end. Mary's already mentioned helping you to not so much write the post, but to give you a structure for it, or to put certain words in there that might make it more clickable and things like that. An article for your business website, and it can generate those quite easily. And transcribing audios. Imagine you were doing a webinar. You can download the audio of the webinar. Change that into and transcribe it into lots of different languages, and then add it back to your video. Straight away, you've got a YouTube video that can be played to any audience around the world. Little things that are good. You can use it to making credits of things, or doing transcriptions that you add along something. And it's also tech industry are using it to actually write the code to make apps. Isn't that incredible? So ABC wants to go live with our own app in a couple of years' time, and we don't have the coding knowledge, but we've got some idea. You can say to it, give me the code to make this font, this size, and add this in it with clickable links, and it will go ahead that you can get the code and drag and drop it directly into the coding part of your app and produce app. It also lets you check code. So if you're writing code and it's not right, you tell it what's wrong, it'll make it out for you. And also anyone that loves things like Excel spreadsheets, formulas for Excel spreadsheets, just ask it, and if you do the formula, you put it in the spreadsheet, it'll do the calculation for you. So it's quite, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's what I've learned. So basics. I'm always about the basics. I don't know where you can see this. I just wanted to teach you, because I spoke to someone the other day. How do you use it? How do you get on? So ChatGPT is a product of a company called OpenAI. So the first place you need to go is to openai.com. When you land on the page, it will ask you to create an account. And that's my slides are the middle one. You can create an account with your Google account or your Microsoft account. verify your email official, and then you can log in. And then the third screen that you see is actually what you get once you've logged in. And initially the examples and the capability are a little bit like, I don't know what that means. It's a little bit put you off. But the main thing you need to think about is the little box at the bottom where it says send a message. That's where you would start putting in what we call your prompt. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. Yeah. Just to tell you, if you were to type the example, like got any creative ideas for a 10-year-old's birthday, it's a good one to start with. You would put that into the message, press send, and then it will start generating the answers for you. Yeah. So it's quite simple to log on to. You can log on your phone or on your laptop. So once you've been able to get on there, you're thinking, well, what can I do with it? Yeah? Yes, ChatGPT can help you. As I said, create a whole marketing strategy for Instagram. Yeah, once you know the prompt, that's the question that you want to ask it. Yeah, like how do I do this? Yeah, you pull it into that box that I just showed you, and just like magic, and I hope I can demonstrate it for you later, how it quickly, really quickly, just brings up the answers. And what's really good about it is if the answer doesn't work for you, there's a little box you can tick at the side, and it'll generate another answer. And if that doesn't work for you, it can generate another answer. And as part of the research model, there's a little thumbs up and a little thumbs down, and you can give feedback to the people that are creating the thing to say, actually, that was a really good answer, or it didn't answer it in the way that I expected, and actually take that data back to make the product even better. Yeah. One of the things that's also good, and this is something I've been using it for, going off on a tangent, but if you were to say, want to interview someone for a new role, let's say you wanted a chief financial officer for our organisation, and you think, well, it's a big role, what questions would I need to know, what the considerations I need to know from a person to make them a good candidate? You could put in a prompt, and it will give you a list of questions to ask at that interview. Yeah. One of the things that's also really good at it is the more information you put in, personalised information, the better the answers that come out of it, and I'll explain that a little bit. So, as I was talking about, in order to use ChatGPT, it's about the input, what you put in, and these are what we call prompts. And prompts are suggestions, questions, or ideas, that you want your answer to be based on. Now, when I started off, I started off very basic, and the more I've looked into it, you can actually put some quite complex information in. And the more complex the information you put in, the more specialised the answers are that you want. And what it's got, what makes this difficult, I think, version 3 is that it can respond to the answer before. So you can ask it something, it can produce an answer. Then you can add something else to it, and it will produce an answer based on that, and then keep going back to the, which makes it really, really powerful. So I'm going to give you an example of prompts in just a sec. But here's a couple of things to think about in terms of productivity, and I'm being specific about coaching business when you're making up your prompts. So be specific. You know, if you were doing something for ABC, you'd have to put that in there so that it produces the answer at ABC, we do X, Y, Z. Yeah. And the more niche you can put the information in, the better information you'll get out. Customising your prompts. You can put your own name in there, and it will answer back. You can get it to answer in the first person, second person, third person, depending on what information you put in. Now, I know some people are really a little bit hesitant, quite rightly, about how much information, personal information you would put into this. And I have to admit, you have to go and check terms and conditions to see how they treat your data. You know, you have to go and look that up in the T's and C's yourself. But I know some people are using quite a lot of personal information in there to get a lot of quite complex answers back out again. As I said, you can use multiple prompts to create materials. So it's not just one question. You can give it a whole series of stuff, information, and based on that, it gives you quite a lot of information back. Edit and proofread So just because, and I'd like to think that everything it generates is going to be spell checked and grammar and amazing, but I would double check it, because sometimes it might use an American version, you know, there might be typos or a frame of reference, and as Mary said earlier, you have to check what it's got in there and then check it, because, you know, at the end of the day, AI is intelligent, but it's not human. So, you know, something that might make sense to it might not make sense in the real, you know, in the real world. And that's something to think about. And as we said, the prompts are a supplement. This is a tool, you know. It doesn't replace creativity, your own ideas, you know. And anyone, like I said, that copies and pasting word for word, you know, not even going to get found out, but people will know it's not authentic. Because very soon, people are going to get very used to reading, like Nick said. You know, at some point, you're going to be able to recognise something that's been produced because of the tone and the way it's written. And if you take that word for word, you know, you might feel, or someone might comment, make you feel like, oh, actually, I've been found out something. I don't want anyone to feel like that. It's not that kind at all. So, has anyone got any questions so far? Because I've wrapped through a lot of information. What are we thinking so far? I do like
you've done a brilliant job, Shirene.
Thank you.
You have. You've really explained it. You've explained it very practically.
Okay.
What
it is and how you can use it and start playing with it. Mary, I know you joined a bit later. From what you heard about it, was that any use to you? Questions?
No questions, but I'm following.
You're following. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can have a little bit afterwards. So I'm going to give you an example prompt. And this is one that I would use in a sense, because as Mary knows, I'm very good on social media. I'm not very good at creating tweets. I do for our events, I try, but as a day-to-day thing, not my go-to. So I downloaded ChatGPT, created an account, and one of the first things I put in here is write 7 tweets, on, and in the brackets is where you would put your specific information. Obviously I was doing something for coaches, so I want to make it relevant to us. You could put like 7 tweets on, I don't know, Blackbird, or anything random, just to try that inspire action, and it would have an answer, which is just incredible. So I wrote down, I didn't write down all the answers, but I put in like 7 tweets on ChatGPT for coaches that inspire action, and you can see for yourselves how it came out with hashtags attached as well. And you can see it used, we said, inspire action. So it's got maximise impact, you know, delivery, like never before. All these words that, not my turn phrase, but actually, they're kind of action words. And it would notice all the information that's gone through. I love on number 2, the way, are you a coach to elevate your game? You know? That could turn someone's head and make you think, okay, yeah, maybe. You know, that might be a click. Yeah. On the third one, with ChatGPT, where to reach a wider audience and help more people achieve their goals. You know, that's a nice simple statement. Now, I might have got to that. Yeah, but to have that in there, think, actually, it doesn't quite work for me, but I'm going to tweak that a little bit. Saves so much time. You know, and you could write 7 tweets, like I said, on loads of those. Or if I like, I could take the first example, put that back into Think and say, make it more professional. Yeah. And then rewrite it again in a slightly different tone and a slightly different manner. And this is how you can then go on to develop, you know, what you want and get a kind of style that you think you can use. Then you can copy and paste that, edit it a little bit more, and then tweet it. Same time. And then see, you know, check your engagement. Is it working? Did it attract likes? And then, you know, actually maybe I need a little more of that, maybe less. You know, there's stuff to be done in that. Yeah. So this is how it actually looks when I put it in ChatGPT. So you can see, when I entered the message at the bottom, it jumped to the top. That's what I asked it. And then in seconds, it reamed off. Actually gave you 7 answers. I showed you 5. And these are all the answers that it gave in literally no time at all. If you were to see the full page, there's a little box at the side that says copy. And with that, it takes all the text for you, and then you paste it in something where you can change it around again. Yeah? And sometimes it's that simple. I was going to come back to that. So what I want to do, and Mary, hold the space for me a second. I'm going to try and give you a live demonstration, but I think until you see it working, it's quite incredible to see what it can do. So Mary, I'm going to hand over to you for a second, and tell us about how it could benefit you. Maybe on Instagram or something. No pressure.
Okay. Right. Say for me, so I'm a social media person, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert in it. But I use social media to pass across my message to my audience. So either that's Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So what I do is I get my topic that I want to talk about. So I'm all for coaches, I'm all for women empowerment and things like that. So I would have like my topics that I want to talk about, and I put it on, what Shirene showed us. Then obviously ask questions or talk about, for example, say things like, what does it mean for women to be more, for example, and then it will write out for me. And I'll take it out there, take it in my own copy, in my notes, and then edit it to suit the message I'm trying to pass across. And then I copy that and I share it with my pictures and things like that. But what's quite interesting, what Shirene said was, you can help with coding. I'm like, oh my goodness. I've never gone to that deep yet. Even like Twitter tweets. Or I think I put something in the chat before as well. What was it? Transcribe. I didn't know you could transcribe, which is amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna try. Honestly, I didn't know that. I was just using the basic of the basic. Just put one word or one phrase on GPT, and then get what I need and get out of there, and that's it until I need it again. And I've never actually gone deeper into it, but you've given me that insight, and I'm going to start looking into it even more. But yeah, thank you. So that's just my own experience. I use it daily for, not daily, but I use it quite frequently for captions and blogs, just for articulating, being concise, and you just to sound really well and professional. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Mary. Now, I've tried to load it from my phone. Can anyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Is it chat stream? Get me. Okay. I'm going to ask Nicholas, if you're here, give me a topic. Write a 500-word blog post on ...
You've really put me on the spot there. All right, let's have it. Mykonos.
Okay. Does that start right?
Burners, yes, please.
What about Mykonos? Yeah, let's say in May. Let's see. Okay.
Nice.
Absolutely incredible to see that live.
You had to see it live.
Wow.
So good. Wow.
500 words. How long would it take you to come up with 500 words?
A month.
And it's still going.
And the knowledge as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So just like that. And what Mary and I like about it is like a start, it's got a middle, and it's got a conclusion, which when you're trying to come up with, the structure of it to make it easy to follow and everything, it's important. Sometimes I spend more time on things like that than anything else. So that's just one really quick example, of how that works. And as I said at the bottom here, we've got three little, there's a thumbs up, there's a thumbs down, and there's a copy and paste board. Yeah, if you like it, you copy and paste it. If you like the answer, you press the thumbs up. And if it's not quite what you're looking for, there's a little button here. So you can see me press it. And it will come up with another version. And it will do that and over and over again. I've told it to stop this time, but it will do that over again. So that was just a basic example. Yeah, you can see some of the quotes I've put in so far. Yeah, and a couple of them were random ones. Let's have a quick look at this one. What was the prompt that I asked it? Here we go. So this is an example of a real complex prompt. Yeah, because you're telling it directly, this is what I want you to do. This is who I am. This is the language. This is what I want included in the answer. And I want to show this one because it's a really good example of if you can be really specific and personal with what you're looking for. Yeah, and I'll give you a quick have a look at what I've written there. Yeah. Then the answer that you're going to get back is going to be really, really detailed. Yeah. And for this one, I've said I want to create a membership site, and it's given me, here are some recommendations, what to look out for. And it's quite detailed. And what you can do with this again is you take any one of those, like number one, paste that back into a message and ask it to expand on that, more information, turn that into a 1,000-page word essay. You know, and you get really, really complex with it. Yeah. On the other hand, so that's quite an example of how it can help you with big stuff. My phone was on Do Not Disturb. That's my phone. I'm sorry. And finally, I just wanted to show you before they ring back. You can actually use it for quizzes. So you have a teacher in the room. Use it to help you make quizzes. Lots of different interactive stuff. One thing I would recommend, and I'm coming to the end now, so I'm going to open up for questions, because I really do want you to get on there and start using it, is you can, excuse me, sorry, I need to ask you. You can use it to write stories. You can use it to ask questions for students. And you can get them to think of information. You can get it to think of questions for you that you can either ask yourself or ask for people. It's really deep. So what I recommend you do is just do a search. And put a search for, as I have done, best ChatGPT prompts for ... And you can put in web creation, business, teachers, job application. There's a whole range of things you can put anything you can think of. Cookery, dieting, anything you can think of is going to give you some answers to. And I just think that's absolutely brilliant. This is one that I wrote here, a presentation. And there you go. Off it went. I wouldn't use Carte Blanche, but I haven't given it enough information in the first place. It's definitely given me a skeleton to work from. Okay, so let me stop this. I'm going to come back over to Zoom on this one. There we go. And I'm going to stop sharing on here. So I'm going to open it back up to you guys then. I'm coming to the end. I just want to give you an insight, because for me, this really is about getting on there, seeing it, what it can do for you. You know. Just pull it back on this one. And one of the final things that I want you to check is, is it free? And it does actually say it's free. I know there's going to be a version 4 coming out. I know eventually they will make a paid subscription, and I don't know what they'll limit on the free version. But at the moment, it's free for anyone to use for any purpose. And what we're finding is that I think it's search engine Bing is now incorporating ChatGPT into the search engine, so that when you ask it questions, it's going to start giving you these more realistic answers. I know a little while ago, Google had this Ask Me Anything, and it was more a social commentary, about life. And I think that with the use of this kind of technology is going to make it give some more richer ideas and answers that are going to help people navigate their way through. So there's still a lot more to come. I mean, like Nick said, there's also a call at the moment to have some kind of regulation over it, because it's people, once you give something that's free and easy to use, there's going to be people out there doing it for nefarious uses and doing all kinds of, devious stuff with it, and we have to be careful. But on the surface at the moment, it's free, everyone knows about it, everyone has a chance to use it. Okay. So at the end of that, is there any more questions? I do want to just open it up. Let's see what you think. What use you can take away from this. What would you think you're using it for? Who's got? Oh, I'm going to ask Nicholas. Come on, Nicholas.
It's an incredible engine for research. For putting, I tell you what, I'm probably going to use it for instantly, maybe even tomorrow, is as evidence of what does a good answer look like.
Okay. What, in terms of structure?
No, not so much a structure. If I put in as a prompt, I would think like a balanced, two-sided argument with a judgment. They can see what that kind of looks like. Some of them don't quite see that. So I can see the implications as a tool for learning, instantly. Obviously for business, the implications are enormous. I was going to ask you, Shirene, is there any way of like squaring the circle and like getting it, let's say for ABC, let's say you wanted a certain tone or in your correspondence and your social media, can you kind of like really personalize it so it kind of knows the style and tone that you want to write in?
I think that's a really good question. I mean, I haven't used it to that extent, and I don't actually. In terms of tone, I always expect that to come from us. So that's what I mean about personalising it and putting my own spin on it. I don't know. I don't think I'd have confidence in it sounding just like having said that. Oh, if you were to write, and you can take this out for yourselves. Write me a poem in the style of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
To do that. If you put anything in the style of ... and it's a well-known person, it will give you that in that style. So in maybe some ways, if you're well known enough, maybe. I mean, we talked about it being able to write lyrics and music. Write me a song about milk. And it will write you a song. Write me a poem about peas and a unicorn, for a 7-year-old, and it will write you a story. That many uses for it. So I think that's what I think about.
Like in terms of like your brand and as I said, the tone you communicate in, if you could get it to, it's all about the prompts, as you said. You get the prompts right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just think about that. But then I don't know, in the time it takes to do that, I could probably put my own spin on it. Make it sound like me.
I think you have to put a personal touch in it. I think, like we said before, it's a tool. And they're not you. At the end of the day, it's not human.
No.
And so I think you get what you want out of it in terms of, this is structure, there's the wordings, whatever. And this is why I go in and just edit it and just make it sound like me. Because I don't think it can sound like me, for example. I know it gave me what I'm looking for based on my prompt, but I still need to make it me for to be rigid, because I know my audience, they already kind of have a taste of my style, of how I speak and how I come across in my wordings. But I feel like sometimes it can be rigid. The words that come out of ChatGPT can be like just there,
Yeah.
you know. So it's not my job to make it sound like me, which is why I would change some wordings. I don't copy word for word from chat. Sometimes I take out a whole paragraph. Sometimes like, yeah, that doesn't sound like me. And then just make things out. And this is how you can catch people out that, oh, this one is just done a copy and paste because this is not like you. This is not Mary would know, for example. So I think this is where human touch comes in. You know, as much as it gives you what you're looking for, just add your own personal. I mean, do something, right? And you can't expect them to do the work for you. You can do something too. But yeah, no, I like that.
Mary, how about
you
think from hearing what you've heard so far, you could get it to work for you?
Yeah, no, I think it's an interesting tool. I think for social media posts, I would definitely use it. Because sometimes, of course, I like to just sort of think of a topic and kind of think about it as in what comes to my mind. But obviously, putting in some prompts and see what comes up could help me add something to what I was already thinking about. So, yeah, and just having other ideas or versions of the same thing that I was thinking of, but how else maybe it would come up, you know, of which maybe from the same thing, I would come up with more than one post because of the way maybe the sort of information that comes up. So yeah, I think it would be really useful too. So I'll definitely look it up and see.
And it had so many other uses. You can ask it to write your diet plan, exercise plan, based on your weight and how much you want to lose in so many weeks and all that kind of stuff. It has just go and play with it. That's all I can say. That's my task for you. Go and log on. You have to log on. Giving you a little how it looks. Go and look up some prompts. There's some brilliant videos on YouTube. Specific prompts for certain areas, careers, and different things. Go and use it. See what you can come up with, and then feed back into our WhatsApp group and let everyone know what you've learned. So I think it's important we start sharing. And if anyone would like any more information on this topic, I can dig a bit deeper and find out some more. I think I'd quite like to do a few more tech webinars because it's one of my softs what I've enjoyed as much as coaching. But I think anything, like I said, that can enhance our businesses, build a bit of confidence and save us time is a fantastic thing. And with that, I'd like to thank you for joining our ABC webinar tonight. Intro to ChatGPT for coaches. I'll upload it onto the website. It's one of our tools for members only. And please do, if you've enjoyed this, please do feedback into the WhatsApp group and let them know what they're missing out on. We've got more webinars coming up next month. And look out for our Clubhouse Ghana ABC event coming up shortly. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a pleasure. And
thank you.
Great week.
Thank you so much, Shirene. So informative.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Take care.
Bye.
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 Bye, Mary. Thanks for joining.